Hello everyone, Josh here. Today I'm working on this cluster here. It's from a 15 through 17 WRX. This specific one was paired to a Crosstrek, but I believe this cluster came from a manual car, so this was sent in to get it converted to work in a CVT car because the customer's car is a CVT. So to do that, we're going to have to edit the EEPROM on the board to switch it over to be a CVT car. So we're going to go through that process here. Alright, so once you have the cluster down to the circuit board, you can take the EEPROM, and we're going to put it on this breakout here so we can put it in our programmer. So the EEPROM itself on this cluster, it's on the back, it's right here. So we need to remove it. You want to take special notice of where pin 1 is, because if you put it on backwards into the programmer on the board, you can damage the board. So we're going to heat up soldering iron. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to tin both sides. Be careful of the small SMD capacitor that's there. Double soldering irons. And take our desoldering braid here. Now here is the EEPROM. We need to solder it to our breakout. Now, what we can do is put the breakout into a breadboard, and this will stop it from flying around the table while we're working on it. I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing here, but we're just going to align it. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's just in the breakout. We're going to just tack down that side of the pins there. And then we'll come to the other side, and then we'll clean up this side here. Now the EEPROM is soldered to the breakout. We have the programmer. I'm gonna install this here, like that. Now let's go dump it. Okay, so this is actually a 93 C86 from Catalyst. For some reason, when I looked up the part number on the chip, it showed the wrong result at first. But after closely looking, I was able to determine that this is the correct chip. So this is what I expected. Okay, so I've now modified the dump and written it back to the device. I noticed something interesting about this older generation of clusters. The data is actually in here twice. The first one is at offset 0, and the second one at offset 400 in hex. I think it's because this cluster came originally with a 76 EEPROM, and then they changed it for an 86, which has double the capacity. So they just duplicated the data in it. That does not occur on the newer generation of clusters, which is why I got thrown off. But I figured it out, and now it's writing correctly. So it's time to put the cluster back together with the EEPROM and see if the configuration has been set correctly. Alright, it's time to get the EEPROM removed from our breakout. Put it back in the breadboard once again for easy handling. Luckily no capacitor on this side to worry about. And we'll just take our 2 irons. Once again, like before, I need to clean the chip so that we will be able to know where pin 1 is. We'll go ahead, solder the EEPROM back on. We'll align it as close as we can. Now going to apply some high quality aerospace grade flux. There's a little much there, but it's not a problem. We want to use very good quality flux to ensure that the EEPROM is soldered correctly and does not come off, because there are a lot of vibrations that occur on a vehicle. And now since we attached that side, we're going to solder the other side down correctly first. The best quality joints possible. And now we need to go back to the original side that we tacked it down with. Again, we'll be careful with that capacitor there. Make sure all the pins are soldered correctly, properly to the board. Okay, there we go. It's looking great. Okay, I've got the EEPROM soldered back onto the board. We'll power up the cluster. And you can see we have the customer's mileage set in the cluster, and we're going to go ahead and get it assembled and test it, and then it's ready to go back. Okay, I've got it reassembled, cleaned, and the needles are calibrated. I'll go ahead and plug it in here. You can see the startup sequence. You can see the customer's mileage there, and everything should be good to go. You can cycle through the options here. So that's about it. Hope you enjoyed.